There's our green light. Ready to roll. I goofed up my thing here. Hold on just a second. All right, there I am. Boy, I got a short turnaround on this delay this morning. That's exciting. Let me go post this link on the website. The website is mammothgardens.com, and it's been fishy this morning. It's not been cooperating with me right off the bat here, so let's hope that it changes its mind. There it goes. And okay, whoops. Control Z. Undo. There we go. Paste. Shift. Highlight. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open a new window. Update and update. So today we will be playing we'll start with our Monday morning harmonica lesson. That takes a couple of minutes. Then Kumbaya, Diatonic Scales, Edelweiss, Chromatic Scales, and It's Only a Paper Moon. What a lovely day of music for us. Let me make sure that that's working correctly. Sandy made it in. Good afternoon. Sound is good. Ready to rock. That's awesome. Let me grab, while everybody's getting loaded in here, let me make sure that the link is working properly. And it opens up to, this is class number 125, which is a whole lot like class number 1. And let me go put this on Twitter real quick while everybody's getting settled in. mammothgardens.com, diatonicgardens.com, and then I always add in a little graphic of some sort, doesn't matter. Harmonica, let's put on Harmonica Zen. We haven't been doing Harmonica Zen. Let's put the dog nose up today and tweet. I gotta make some new Harmonica Zen pictures. All right. So I want to run through our how to play slides very quickly for those of you who are new. I think we sort of distilled it down to the key aspects of things that we need to know. Good morning, Marcia. Sidewalks and decks shoveled off and ready to play. Yeah, we had another little snow overnight. Nothing tragic or dramatic, but real pretty the way it sat down on top of the trees, and it was lovely to wake up this morning. A little bit of fog, a little dark to heavy clouds, snow melted attached to the trees. It was actually quite nice. Let me go grab I got too many mice. Let me grab the Monday morning slides. We'll knock those out. Let's go to this. And let me get to the front of the thing. Here we go. Stop. And then let me fast forward to get these. They come up in whatever random order. All right, so there's that. So to play harmonica, guys, number one, it is a reminder for those of you who've been playing a while, and also for those of you who are brand new, you're going to end up with your fingers stuck in your mouth. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. You're going to end up putting your fingers are going to be running up against your lips, the whole thing. While starting a good morning of harmonica should always begin with washing your hands, especially if you're training little children to play harmonica. I apologize. I do think that's probably one of the musical directions that we teach all kids on all instruments. Start by washing your hands. That way, no matter what instrument you're playing, you don't end up with a little less grime on there. Our instrument's a bit unique in that we want to brush your teeth before you play to get any sort of popcorn kernels that are still stuck in there out prior to playing. Otherwise, whatever junk is in your teeth is going to end up inside of your harmonica, and then it's going to get the reeds stuck, and you want to avoid that as long as possible. So brush your teeth. Second, when you're playing, and I've got two different water delivery devices here on my desk. That's how important it is. You want to be drinking during the time you're playing harmonica. You want to drink a ton right before you play. Just make sure you're good and hydrated. The other thing, that first gulp of water, swish it around in your teeth just to make sure any last little fuzzies that are floating around on your teeth are gone. And again, just trying to minimize how often you have to clean your harmonica, or like me, throw that harmonica away and buy another one. Good posture is probably the most important thing you can do to make your harmonica sound better. Sit up tall, sit up pretty. Don't sit like this cat. You want to use great posture all of the time because you're one, you're trying to get healthier by playing harmonica, and two, you want great sound to make good music out of your harmonica, and that's not going to happen if you're all crunched down. Breathe from your belly, not your lungs, not from your neck, but when you have a draw on your harmonica, when you're blowing air in, when you're sucking it in, I guess is the correct way to think about that. You want your belly to be moving outward, and when you're blowing, you want your belly to be moving inward. Use that as a bellows like you would on an accordion. Your belly becomes that giant accordion, and it's the same exact process. Out with your belly to create inhales, in with your belly to create exhales. Along with that, when we first start playing harmonica, we tend to blow and draw. It's probably more important for you to think of it as inhaling and exhaling. You want to be just breathing with the flow of life. Try not to be blowing too hard or drawing too hard, but really think of it more as inhaling and exhaling from your belly, and you will get a better tone. That's one of the things that I have been focused on since I've been reading all these books on all types of harmonica. They come back time and time again about really think of this as inhaling and exhaling rather than blowing and drawing. Next, to get started, to get your tones out of your ukulele, to get your tones out of your harmonica, you're going to pucker up, get your lips in that nice round shape, and then you're going to put your lips as far onto the harmonica as possible to still get a single note out. And so try not to just bump your lips up to the very edge of the harmonica, but put them over it a little bit and then pucker up, and then that way you'll get sound out of just one hole at a time. When we first start harmonica, or when you start little kids, they blow through multiple holes, which is really fun and really beautiful. But as a player, as a melody player, you got to get air to go through just one hole. First step in that process is puckering up. Next part of that process is using your kissing muscles and your tongue and the inner parts of your mouth. We call that your embouchure. And our goal is using your tongue, either raising it up or lowering it, and then the inner walls of your mouth, the muscles in there to help direct airflow through a single hole, or to draw through a single hole. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. When you first start, it's really, really a problem. I think after you've been playing a few weeks, it gets better. After you've been playing a few months, you'll actually get really quality tone out of that. And so it is worth the effort. You're only a month or two away from being able to really make beautiful tones out of it. The other thing, those of you guys that have been around a little while, when you're thinking about using your kissing muscles, also be thinking about bending your notes, especially on draws. Can you make that meow sound? And all I'm doing everything the way I normally do. It's just that I'm using my inner kissing muscles to tighten up the airflow to the beginning part and then releasing them to get that meow sound. The reason you want to do that is then you become keenly aware of your tones that you're making with your harmonica, and it'll make you a better sounding harmonica. You're not going to bend every note like that, but you want to know how to bend the notes. And the easiest way, usually hole number 4 on a diatonic harmonica is a great place to start. You can do it on all of the lower notes. And So all of those are, that was 1 through 5, just pulling them down and then releasing it, and you get that meow kind of feel to it. You want to get where you can control your bends and not just bend it just because they're bending. Between every single note, in the beginning at least, you're going to have your tongue touch the roof of your mouth, and you're going to say 2, 2, 2, and as you're doing draws, you're also going to do 2, 2, 2. You want to stop the first note and then start a new note, and divide those notes, but with a tongue tapping the roof of your mouth. Over time, you will start to get where you decide whether you want to do that or not. Some notes sound better when you slur them together, but for the most part, I'd say 80% of the time I'm using a 2 in between every single note. How you hold your diatonic harmonica, notice that my knuckle there is above hole number 4, my index finger straight, thumb is straight, and then on the back side my right hand is covering up the sound exit zone so that I can then move my right hand in and out to create that wah-wah effect. Next up, remember this is hard for me in the beginning. Now I'm pretty good at it, but it takes a little while to think about. You're going to move your hands back and forth and not your face back and forth. This guy moved his face back and forth so much it ended up upside down. You don't be like this guy. Just move your hands, leave your face going forward. It allows you to get better tone. On the harmonica tablature, every piece of sheet music on our website, if it says 4, that means you're going to blow. If it says -4, that means you're going to draw. If it says 5 star, you're going to blow with a button pushed in for chromatic harmonicas. And then if it's the same, -4 star is a draw with the button pushed in. Pretty basic. That's the only thing you have to learn about reading harmonica tablature. It's all the same and it's all delightful. You can play all the songs. The sheet music also has it's set up for ensemble play. Is the one thing I'm doing differently than all the other harmonica books out there. I want you to be playing with other people, and the way you start with is obviously get where you can play the songs, but then get with a friend who has a guitar or a ukulele or a piano, or who sings, or really any other instrument, and they can use this information from your sheet music to play. So you've got the chords up above. That's useful for guitarists, ukulele players, pianists, harpists, organists. They all can use the chords. Standard notation generally for singers primarily, but any of the orchestra instruments like a trumpet or any of those types of instruments, they read single line off the treble clef. Lyrics underneath there, of course. Underneath the lyrics is your stuff. That's your harmonica tablature. And on this piece, this example piece here, you have a 7, blow 7, a draw 6 with a star. That means this must be a chromatic piece of music, so you have to have the button. And then, of course, blow 6, draw 5, draw 4. Underneath that, ukulele tablature and guitar tablature, I provide those. If you are playing with somebody that probably has been trained by me, they know how to read that, and it's super helpful. All right, that's how you play harmonica. Let's go play some harmonica. Let me turn that off. There I am. Look at me, looking good. Who else wandered in here? Diane had an harmonicking session yesterday with 1 baritone and 3 ukes. What fun, right, Diane? Just exactly what I was talking about. This idea that you get some people together and everybody plays a different instrument, and what a blast. So glad you did that, Diane. That's super exciting. Connie made it in this morning. She's from Denver. Pauline, hey Gary, were you able to get vaccinated today? Partly cloudy. I was able. I had to cancel guitar because my wife screamed in from the other room, there's appointments available, so I had to go log in and into the health system I'm a part of, and sure enough I was able to get an appointment for Saturday afternoon at 3:20. So at the moment my plan is to be vaccinated Saturday at 3:20, and so yeah, I did miss a class because I was logging in and all that, but yeah, we're logged in. I have an appointment to get a vaccine now, so I'm pretty excited about that. Don made it back in. Here we go again. That's exactly right. And Francis, guten Morgen, Francis. More snow today, and then of course Q is back in. All right, that's our Monday morning routine. We start every Monday with a little bit of a lesson, and then we have you guys jump in to play some music. So let's go to grab Kumbaya. I would say of all of the songs that we play, this is the most approachable. If I were teaching somebody to play harmonica these days, this is the exact song that I would start with. In fact, those of you guys who may end up showing other people how to play harmonica, the 5 songs we play every day here, or every week here: Kumbaya, Ode to Joy, Simple Gifts, When the Saints Go Marching In, and You Are My Sunshine. There is no question in my mind that you could do them in any order, of course, but if you were going to show somebody how to play harmonica, those are the 5 songs I'd give them. I wouldn't do any others. let them start on those, and then, because all of those are quite playable, they all fit in here, they all sound great, most everybody knows how they go, and they're really convenient to getting people started. Q's in the house. Good to see you, Q and Christine. Excited. My G harmonica is coming today. That's exciting, Christine. All you guys are going to end up with this big pile of harmonicas by showing up around here. I guess I should go in the harmonica sales business, huh? All right, Kumbaya. Let's do it 3 times through this morning. Let's just what the heck? Let's make it good. 3 times through. 2-beat count in. Blow 4. 1, 2. I don't know if we've ever played all 3 verses, maybe once or twice, but again, be thinking about when you're showing other people how to play, isn't that something everybody would want to be able to play? It's got just enough weirdness to it, enough just pleasant, nice, take a long time to blow out each of those notes and all that stuff. Kind of fun. Let's go grab our scales. If I was teaching somebody, I don't think I'd give them the diatonic scales on day 1. I think give them a day just to play music. And if you think about it, if you hand them Kumbaya, kind of a religious feeling song, Ode to Joy, classical music, Simple Gifts, an American classic, right? When the Saints Go Marching In, something a little bit up-tempo, and then You Are My Sunshine, a song that's either super sad or super happy, depending on how you handle it. That's a whole lot of music right there. That's a whole lot of diverse ways of playing harmonica. And I think give people those 5 tunes, get them started, and then start this journey that you've been on, which is, hey, here's how you play a scale, here's how you play a little bit more difficult songs, here's how you start dealing with your upper end harmonica. By the way, you should buy a G harmonica. Oh, and you should also pick up a chromatic while you're at it, all that stuff. So let's play the C major scale twice. Looking for a low F, what brand do you recommend? I will be honest with you, Connie. I ordered the Seidel low F. Low LF is what it says, Seidel, which I like. I like the tone of it. The problem with this is they don't have the numbers on here. They're, the 1 through 10 numbers on here, which I honestly, it just makes me want to rage in fury over that. Not that you have to have those, but why not put them on there? There's no point, they're super helpful. And it's not like, ooh, it looks so much better without the numbers. So I like the tone. If you want the numbers, this isn't the one to buy. But I'd say you're going to be fine with anything from Suzuki, anything from Seidel, anything from Hohner, and anything from, what's the other one? I think those are the main 3 probably. So yeah, in terms of liking the tone of it, I love that harmonica. I just wish it had the numbers on there, because often, usually you don't care about the numbers after your first note, but the first note pretty much matters. So, all right. So that's my thoughts on that, Connie. All right, from the to C major scale twice through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop you for just a second. Notice how I just did that very straight. That's exactly what you'd want to do on a scale. You want to make all of those notes exactly even and sound good, nice tone, nice volume. Nothing fancy to them. Here's a C note, and if that's it, here's a D note. Right, but now let's go through and try. We're going to start trying to do a little bit of bending with it on all of your draws. Try to make it go wah, meow a little bit. And so let me give you an example. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing a little bit tight and then letting go, and it bends the reed a little too far down, and then lets it go back up. And see if you can work on that. Just on the draws, the blows won't work, but the draws will work just fine. So starting on just one time through from 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I started with a draw. Let's start with a blow. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I notice I'm doing, my tongue is up toward the top of the mouth and then pulling it back down. So it's wah, wah. And you're just continuing to pull air through those draws, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7's harder, right? The higher up you go, the harder they get to be. And then at some point we'll talk about overblowing your 8s, 9s, and 10s. Those are much harder to do, but you can do those as well. Just blow real hard, pushes the reed a little bit too far, and you get that bendy sound. The reason why, and I just was reading in one of the harmonica books, I don't know, they're all starting to run together in my head, but they're pretty clear, like, hey, if you pay attention to when you're bending the notes, it's going to make you much more aware of the sound coming out of your instrument. It's going to make you a better player. So while I don't necessarily love bending notes, I want you to know how to bend a note, and I want you to pay attention to when you are bending notes, so that you can decide, hey, at this moment I'm going to bend this note, I'm not going to bend this, or that note is bending and I want it to stop the other, and to know how to keep control over that. Bending is not happening. It takes a while, guys. Your basically tongue is on the top of toward the top of my mouth, and it's dropping down, and my embouchure is tight and then looser, tight and then looser. And so you start working on it. It's going to take a while. This is a more advanced technique. That's what you're working for, okay? And every diatonic harmonica will do it. That's why blues is famous on harmonica, because you get that bendy sound in there. All right, that's our bend lesson. Remind me from time to time that maybe every day we ought to do that C major scale where you do the bends on the draws the second time through. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to practice. Let's play the A minor scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was trying to bend those upper draws. They don't work near as well as the lower draws. Right? That's more fun. Okay, a little bit of notes on bending. Bending is a more advanced technique. Every harmonica book that you pick up, every single one, they're going to push bending on you. Bending. It is not necessary to play melody, and certainly not from my sheet music. I'm never going to give you a diatonic song that requires you to bend a reed at some point in there. Most of the harmonica tablature that you run into out there, you're like, oh, I didn't know you could play that on a diatonic harmonica. Most of the time, they're going to require you to bend some notes. And again, you will get a different timbre out of that, and it's always going to be a hit or miss, and not always, but it's going to be a hit or miss situation in the beginning. So it's not required. It's something you want to work on because it's kind of fun, but it's definitely something that is a more advanced technique and not something that I'm going to spend a huge amount of time working on. I don't necessarily find it particularly teachable, other than put your tongue up there, squish your mouth together, start the draw, and then let everything loose, and the bend should go wow, meow kind of sound to it. Not over here. I really like the sound of bending notes, but it did not happen for me. Right, welcome to bending notes, right? You'll see. Once you start actively trying to do it, pretty soon you'll be doing it, and then the next thing is you'll be doing them wishing you weren't doing them, right? And so give yourself plenty of time. There's no hurry to being able to bend it. Again, it's not required to play the music that we play, but every single harmonica book discusses bending, and I would be doing you a disservice if we didn't at least talk about it and try it from time to time. All right, very good. There we go. There's our bending discussion. What are we playing today? Edelweiss? Let's go, I think, right? Edelweiss. Yeah, let's go grab Edelweiss. Edelweiss. By the way, I did have time to do a little bit of put a little love into some music this weekend for you guys. And on Wednesday, there's a revised version of Home on the Range, which now includes a repeat and a chromatic line in there. So please you might want to grab that today and just get it into your book. But updated it yesterday, I think, and then. In addition to that, Love Me Tender, remember we had a bad 2 notes that were wrong in there. I fixed those. I went ahead and gave it a chromatic line, so I added, so that one's a little more up to date as well, the Love Me Tender. And then finally Daisy Bell. Daisy Bell just felt really hard to play, and so I did add a chromatic line on there, and I also went ahead and put a repeat on that one as well. So I would go ahead and grab all 3 of those pieces of music today, print them out, get them in your book. I think they're much improved over the previous versions. Q says, on the scale, why do we have a breathe next to each other, like on 6/7 and C major? Exhaust my lung. So the idea here, Q, is when you blow into harmonicas, you always get a C chord. So in other words, when you blow through multiple holes, you're always getting a C, an E, or a G. Always. So they're always going to be, all of your blows are always going to be, when you take multiple notes, it's always going to be a C chord. The problem is that when you are setting it up for doing a scale, in, out, in, out, in, out, in order to make sure all of your blows stay either C's, E's, or G's, on the third one, they have to flip it. And so while you would normally go blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, and in order to make that next note be a C when you blow it, they have to do another draw. Draw, blow. It's just the nature of harmonica. It is something that drives you crazy in the beginning. It will eventually just be the way it is. And you don't spend a whole lot of time. When you buy a piano, there are 3 pedals on it. There's this pedal, and this pedal. In your lifetime, you're probably only going to use the pedal on the right. And the other 2 pedals, you're like, I don't know what those are even for, right? But they come with it. In fact, my keyboard that I play on only has the right pedal. That's it. They're like, we're not wasting our time selling you pedals you're never going to use. With ukulele, the top string is higher than the string right next to it. Nobody knows why. It's just the way it is, and it's just one of those weird things about it. Nobody knows why guitar is this huge size when it doesn't allow the bottom string to resonate properly. It's in the wrong resonance, yet here we are. Guitars are the way they are. You have, and no matter how big that guitar gets, it's still not big enough to get the E string to resonate properly, and so it is what it is, And so with harmonica, and it's true on chromatics as well, every third or fourth note you have 2 draws in a row because they want to keep all of the blows to be in the same chord. So that's why it's like that. Okay, great question, Q. Let's go on to to Edelweiss. We're going to play it twice through. You'll play it at 32, come back up, play it again. This is a beautiful song. I hope that you have fun playing it. This is another, to be honest, not particularly challenging song. So this way it might be, day 2 in harmonica. Let's give it a try. From the top, blow 5, 3-beat count in, twice through. 1, 2, 3. Good, 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 good. Isn't that beautiful? Um, This is one of Donna's favorite songs, right? Frances is actually from Austria, and so I like to tease her. Oh, that you guys, the Sound of Music is your favorite musical, and she's like, no, not really. It's Americans' favorite musical from Hollywood that is set in a rather sanitized version of what Austria is all about. So it is a beautiful song on harmonica, let's put it that way, and one you don't get in a hurry for, right? Let the tones develop, and just really pretty. I would call that, as if you're starting somebody out, get them those first 5 songs. That would probably be the day 2 type of music. That's really pretty playable, a little bit harder than the day 1 stuff, but definitely. And you end up with a nice song after that. All right, Diatonic people, you're set for the week. Like I say, you might want to go download the new sheet music with the revisions. And so you're all set for the later this week. And then let's grab our chromatic harmonicas and see how we do. Oh, by the way, you take that Edelweiss on a G harmonica, and you'll be like, "Yeah, that's what I meant when I was deciding I wanted to play harmonica." It's beautiful. I do think almost all of our tunes sound a little better on a G harmonica. But we learn in C because it's the white keys on the piano, and just a little bit, generally speaking, a little bit easier when we're talking about understanding music. All right, our scale today is the C major scale. No button pushing for Frances, but the rest of us are fine with that. One of the things that's come up over and over, and I do like to talk about, when you get to blow 4, that's a C note. You'll notice blow 5 is the same note. And as an arranger, or as somebody who's like, when you get ready to type out a song and you get to a C note, you're like, well, should I use a 4 or a 5? Sometimes, I think mostly you'd like to stay in the same hole. In other words, if you're playing in 4, you probably want to stay in 4. So in this case, on this scale, when you get to -4, you're going to then blow 4 because you're already in the hole. Sometimes, if you're making a run up the harmonica or a run down it, you might choose the next hole anyway to help keep that run up easier and more sensible in your head. I question this almost every time I do an arrangement. Should I do a blow 4 or a blow 5? And you look at the note before it, look at the note after it, try to figure out, hey, if I'm already in the 5th hole, I'm going to stay in the 5th hole. If I'm in the 4th hole, obviously I'd rather stay there. If I'm in this case running all the way up this cascading number of pitches going up, I might have chosen to do this a little bit differently, -4 and then blow 5 -5. You could have also done that just as well and not changed anything about what you are listening to. But I would say I chose, because I'm already in 4, I'm going to stay in 4, but it would have made just as much sense to just do 1 4 and then 2 5s, a blow 5 and a draw 5. So again, as you are doing your own arrangements and grabbing, sheet music from your teenage years that you want to try to tab out the song, 4s and 5s, and also 8s and 9s, you have some choices to make about whether you're going to, which one of those makes the most sense for you in your arrangement. All right, let's do this twice through. 1, just the C major scale today. 1, 2, 3, 4. I tried doing draws or doing bends on all of the draws, and just like on diatonic, relatively they're a little bit easier on the lower parts, a little bit harder on the higher parts, and they certainly don't help the overall quality of that scale in terms of sound, because all of a sudden you're introducing all this quavering noises into your scale. But having control over that is what really is of the joyful part of trying to learn your draws. All right. Yeah, when we went to Austria, I didn't realize Donna loved Sound of Music as much as she does. That became very clear when we were in Salzburg, and you go in this beautiful garden when not next to the castle and all this stuff, and she was running around like a wild woman singing songs, just like all the Americans do when they go to there. All right, let's go play It's Only a Paper Moon. E-F-G-H-I. It doesn't appear to be here. Has it been that long since we played it? Storage. Eventually, on this gadget, if you don't play stuff for a while, it vanishes off the front page. I'm going to get a better one of these. Let's see. It's Only a Paper Moon. I don't have it in my computer at all. Why would that be? All right, guys. Take a second. Let me download it. I don't have it in my machine for some reason, and that makes me mental. Okay, there's that. That. Everything should be in the machine at this point. Mammoth Gardens, Harmonica songs. Okay. Download Harmonica. H-I. There it is. It's Only a Paper Moon, Chromatic. Click. Download. Okay. Yeah, didn't have it in the computer. What the heck? What did we do last time we played this? Did I play it from memory? Alright, let me go here. Back out. Back in. Go to the eyes. Alright, here we go. 4-beat count in. 2 times, well, not really 2 times through. The top part, 1 through 8. Then go back to number 1. Play 1 through 7. You skip measure 8, and then you play 9 to the end. Okay, so basically what we're playing is A, B, and then a last version of A. Okay, so the hard part, as you know, when you have a song and you're looking at song structure, it's the B section that usually creates the most challenges playing. So that's where you pay attention. And sure enough, on this song, that's where all the button pushing shows up, right in that B section. And that's when composers try to create a different idea in the section B section. So back in Tin Pan Alley times, very common. A section, another A section, a B section, usually a little more interesting, and then back to the A section. Very common song structure. Let's give it a try. Two times through on the top, and then 1 time out to the end. 4-beat count in, an 8th beat rest, and then or an 8th note rest, and then off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Top. love that song so much. All right, guys, we're out of time. There you go. That's all I know. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Hopefully that was good solid day of harmonica. And I will see you guys tomorrow or maybe later today for some ukulele. And that's all I know. So I'm going to pull the plug. I apparently have quite a bit of a delay on this. So all you guys that stopped in today, have a wonderful afternoon, and I will talk to you tomorrow.